All right, it's time for my weekly video. I would like to report that Lizzo is putting out semen pollen, in other words, pollen filled with Lizzo Jesuit men who are apparently ejaculating on the trees. And I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but they are reporting on it on Gabriel Chana Fox News 00 on cable and at my website, gabrielchana.blog. And yeah, I've noticed I don't think this is something completely new, but I think we just discovered it because I have noticed lately that my eyes are really sticky, and I get a lot of teary eyes from the allergy and lots of post-nasal drip. So yeah, this is something that Lizzo is doing, and obviously mainstream totally fake news is not reporting on it. Do not believe anything you hear from any news source besides Gabriel Chana, Fox News. They're all lying to you. They're neglecting to report the real news, and then they're making up lies to get you to go off on all these crazy tangents. There is no war over in Israel with Hamas. There's nothing going on in Russia or Ukraine, okay? Vladimir Putin is the Secretary of Defense. Brent Spiner is the president. So, yeah. And we have our own search engine at Gabriel Chana. It's called the Gabriel Chana search engine. You can use it from my website. It's much more accurate than Google. Just go to gabrielchana.blog, gabriellechanA.blog. Check out the search engine there. Yeah, just totally ignore the news. When I got caught up in some alternative news sources, my Gale shield got seriously weak. Another thing that I did that made it really weak was stuffing lately for the past couple weeks, and I'm starting to think this might have happened simply because my Gale shield got weak. It appears some Lizzo Jesuits managed to infiltrate into my apartment complex, and they started a smoking strategy. And they just started smoking, and then Lizzo used some sort of technology to direct the smoke into my apartment. And, I don't like the smell of cigarette smoke. I've never been a smoker my entire life. In fact, I've never smoked a cigarette my entire life. I don't like the smell. I've just never been interested in doing it. And I've never had any alcoholic beverages. I used to think, I grew up in fundamental Baptist churches where they taught you that if you drank or smoked, it was like a sin. And the churches that I went to, you never saw anybody smoking outside the church building. I think it did make me kind of self-righteous when I was a young lady. But there are some, to be honest with you, I don't regret that I never decided to take up smoking. I don't think I'm missing anything. It stinks. It's not good for you. And I don't appreciate Lizzo Jesuits blowing their smoke in my face. Like, I'll get on the bus, okay? I'll get on the bus here. And even though there are bus rules that you do not smoke on the bus, you do not smoke in the bus terminal, what the Lizzo Jesuits will do is they will smoke in the bus terminal, and then they'll smoke to the very last minute, right before they board the bus. Then it's almost like they hold their breath, they take in a big puff, smoke until as long as they can. They're not supposed to be smoking in the terminal. It used to be that the bus drivers would try to send them away, but then they started raping some of the bus drivers. If anybody supports me, they start attacking them. So now I think a lot of the bus drivers are scared to call them out. But what they've been doing is going smoking to the last minute, then flicking their cigarettes, sometimes even boarding the bus with the cigarette, just maybe stubbing it, and then blowing out, exhaling as soon as they enter the bus. This is what we're dealing with, and right now her allergies are making me act up. You might say, well, what do we do about these allergens? Just watch Gabriel Chana Fox News. My friend Rule 13, what she did is she had Zach Knight give her some oral sex to just flush all of the pollen out of her sinus cavities. And I had Brent do that, And I guess it's helping. The advantage of Zach's semen is he's got antibiotic semen. So if there's anything else in that pollen besides, I don't know what knowing her, she's probably got a combination of mites and all sorts of nasty stuff in there. So yeah, it appears that because my Gale shield got weak, that some LIzzo Jesuit, but I think what happened is some people that rent here, when they went out shopping or wherever they went, some LIzzo Jesuits hit them up and said, hey, we could make you an instant millionaire. What we want you to do is you're allowed, in Gail's apartment complex, they're allowed to smoke inside the apartments, not in the hallway. Let's kind of push it, okay? Like, yeah, you smoke to death. Now, you know what Laurie McBride used to do, and I talked about this, I've discussed this in some of my short stories, in the 1990s, when she forced herself into Brent's home. He had a home in Hollywood Hills, and she moved, but literally, she started trying to move in. Brent never wanted her from day one, and she's only been able to obtain girlfriend status by threatening death on me if he wouldn't play her game. And she would actually smoke a whole pack of cigarettes from her vagina. Yeah, and I think the purpose was to get him under brain control drugs because he was wearing a balaclava, to protect his neck area, so she couldn't inject him with brain control drugs. And she decided, well, since I can't inject him because he's always wearing the football helmet and I can't knock him over the head to knock him out so I can inject him, I'll just make him inhale it because he can't keep me out of his house. This is what you're dealing with. Yeah, when you read my life story, right now I'm just about finished with the story on Gail divorces Jesuit agent. That would have been my ex-husband, David Schuler. And it's just amazing what Jesuits get away with. And part of the reason they get away with so much is because they have so much control over the press. Yeah. So what I've been dealing with lately is the cigarette smoke has been really bad. And I asked Brent, I said, Brent, why don't you go pay my neighbor a visit and find out what he's doing? That I'm smelling the smoke so much. It's like, it appears LIzzo was using some sort of technology where she could direct the flow of the smoke through every little hole and cranny in the walls over to wherever she wanted to send it. And I just told my man, it sounds like to me, like for the apartment complex I live in, the way it's built and everything, it probably should have a no smoking policy. Yeah. And at the hangout yesterday, just no smoking, not inside the apartment or outside the apartment. You might say, well, they're going to lose tenants. There are things that we can do to, this place is really cheap, okay? I don't think they have to worry about that. And if they are worried about that, there are incentives that we can give to potential renters. Like, I am a really good cook. And like my son right now is getting my cooking. He was raised on it, so he loves it. And I love wearing Brent's jewelry. I wear all his jewelry, though this one here is this one's from Hugh Jackman, this one's from Brent. So, yeah, Brent, the bracelet, the Howard Hughes bracelet, Brent. So, yeah, we could just offer them free delivery of my meals. We have a replicator where we can reward people that are my followers. So like maybe one of the advantages of renting here is I think they have to like set up a table in their apartment and we can just transport the food right to them as a reward for not being a LIzzo Jesuit and not doing things to make it unbearable for me to live here, for being a good tenant, right? Yeah, so I personally think they should ban all cigarette smoke in this apartment complex. And I got to admit, there are some people that have already signed a contract and they're in on it. And I said, I asked Brent, brain to brain, how many people here have become LIzzo Jesuits? I think he told me about 15. And I'm not sure this is brain to brain. It may not be accurate. And I said, well, how are you dealing with them? He says, we're going to treat them like we do any other LIzzo Jesuit. And we might have to replace them with an automaton that won't smoke. And I think he tried doing it You say, what happened? Well, they were good when they first came here, but Lizzo got them just like she's gotten all the news reporters. It seems like most people, if you hit them with a high enough bribe, you'll find their price, right? It seems like most people are more worried about being respectable, not getting the crazy label put on you, and having status in society, and maybe being able to retire for life, forgetting that this life is not the only one there is, right? And yeah, she's finding, sad to say, she's finding the price. And she's very obsessed with me, okay? Because I am a key leader on Jesus Christ's side, okay? Me and my husband, we are key leaders on Jesus Christ's side. In fact, Jesus put my husband in charge of the planet along with Buddha. So that's, yeah, you can see. And like they gave me a problem with a cat inside my vagina, and my husband got an STD that affected his judgment. So I'm trying to be very careful not to do things to give my husband that kind of a STD, you know. Like I'm not looking at any writing instruction books as I work on my writing. Oh, my eyes are watering so bad. I turn off the air conditioner when I make this video because it makes a loud noise. But it's right now I'm getting allergy symptoms. She's got something really nasty out there. So yeah, probably breathing in some of that semen pollen. But I just wanted to make you aware of this. This doesn't mean you don't do your Gale Commandment walk, but just be aware that Lizzo's doing her stupid stuff. You know, I do believe that Lizzo Jesuits, I don't think they're allowed to do the Gale Commandments. I think Satan punishes them because the new plan under Jesus is the Gale Commandments. So yeah, I think those who do the Gale Commandments are going to get special rewards in the future. That is the new plan going forward. As you know, the Bible has been canceled. That means any prophecies not yet fulfilled will not be fulfilled, okay? So if you're operating as an evangelical under that premise, you're off. The Bible has been canceled, okay? Dallas Theological Seminary, I asked Brent how they're handling it. He said they're watching my videos, reading my stories, and going from there, okay? My husband is a PhD, I believe. He's got a doctorate from Dallas Theological Seminary. And from what I understand, he graduated with the highest GPA of anybody from that school. So yeah, we are familiar with the beliefs, you know, what the evangelicals believe. And I used to be what you call premillennial, pre-trib, dispensationalist type of an evangelical. And that was the correct position before the Bible was canceled, okay? And I'll have to be honest with you, with the Bible being canceled, one of the hardest things for me to deal with was the fact that there would be no millennial reign. I was kind of looking forward to that. But now I'm feeling better because I figure, knowing Jesus, whatever's coming up is going to be just as good or better, okay? So we just need to go with the new plan. Yeah, I can't wait till we defeat Lizzo and Satan. They asked me an interesting question at the Hangout yesterday. One of my followers asked me, he asked, if you had to give up Brent in order to fix the universe's problems where Satan and all his minions would get right, if you did that, would you be willing to give up Brent? And I said, what do you mean by that? Does that mean I can't even be his friend? And they go, yeah. And I said, no way. I said, why would I have to sacrifice true love to get things right? Any universe, if the price that you got to pay to fix the problems in the universe is to sacrifice true love, then in my opinion, the whole universe should be destroyed. That was my answer. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, a universe without true love in it is not worthy of existence. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I think God the Father would agree with me, because that's why I believe that's why Satan was kicked out, because he violated true love. So anyways, I wanted to bring that up. That was a kind of an intriguing question. I had to think about it a while, and I thought, no way. I mean, it begs the question of, like, what makes life worth living, okay? Okay, so I'm going to save the universe by giving up true love. Then the question I have to ask myself, is that the kind of a universe worth saving? And my answer was no. So I said, no, I would not be willing to do that. I will say this much. If I only had to give him up temporarily, like maybe in this life, but I could have him in the next, and it would fix things, I would be willing to do that. Okay? But if I have to give him up forever, which means I would not have him in this life or the next, in order, and he's my soulmate, okay? In order to fix the universe, my answer would be, if true love has to be sacrificed to save the universe, a universe without true love in it is not worth saving. It would be better to just totally destroy it and for God the Father to start all over. So my answer to that was a firm no. You may say, well, Brett's not the only guy you could replace. He's my soulmate. I have almost perfect true love with him. No. The answer is no. I mean, I don't get that. Why would I have to sacrifice true love to fix the universe? A universe where true love has to be sacrificed forever, and I mean forever, is not a universe worth saving. Yeah. I do not get people like Lizzo, beings like Satan. Yeah, and if to become a Lizzo Jesuit, you cannot honor true love. Because Satan apparently is claiming that true love does not exist and that he was unfairly kicked out of heaven. My answer to that is, if you're right, Satan, that true love doesn't exist, then I say God the Father should destroy the universe and do it over so that true love does exist. Fortunately, true love does exist. And for some reason, Satan doesn't like it. I think the reason he doesn't like it is because he does not honor it. He betrays it. And he's saying that he can't help who he is, that he was unfairly kicked out. This is what I'm guessing. He was unfairly kicked out for dishonoring true love because it doesn't exist. Well, it exists between me and Brent. I know it does. And so if Satan has to get rid of whatever true love exists, if we have to get rid of it to pacify him, I would say it's not worth it. A universe like that is not worth sacrificing for. Yeah. Honest to God, yeah. I mean, you people that are siding with Satan, ask yourself this question. Why are you so intent on proving that true love doesn't exist? You might say, that isn't what Lizzo believes. It is what she believes. She's a big liar. Actually, she'll say one thing to the public, but among her Jesuits, she has to have a different stance. She'll try to substitute things for true love, like being socially correct, following Satan and Baphomet's guidelines, and there is no substitute for true love. There is none. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about that because I think it's important. Anybody who lines up with the Lizzo Jesuits, you are lining up with a group of beings who are opposed to true love because it makes them look bad, because they don't have it. Yeah. And they're saying the reason they don't have it is because it doesn't exist. That would be like saying, I don't have beauty because it doesn't exist. You see what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It does exist. There's true love in the multiverse. And I know I have it with Brent Spiner. Like I said, if I had to sacrifice that to have the universe be at peace, just blow the whole thing up. That would be my answer. It's not worth saving. I mean, you got to really think about these things, folks. Think about this. How can you be happy without true love in the universe? You might say, but I am happy. No, you're not. If you don't have love in your life, you're not happy. You're a liar. We were not designed to be without love in our life. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about love, okay? Think about this. What do you want to do? Just exist? Just to eat and sleep and not have any meaningful love in your life? You say, well, I can substitute sex for love. No, you can't. You cannot. That's what Lizzo's trying to do. No, you can't. You say, why doesn't she have love? Because she won't be authentic and she doesn't have the courage to be real and to be humble and to make herself vulnerable to another person. She doesn't have any faith in herself. And the same for Satan. Yep. Nope. Anyways, I wanted to talk about that. Okay, so yeah, so what I did was I took the bags away from the door because I was trying to block the cracks in the door to keep the smoke out, and then my Gale shield got really, really weak. And I thought, okay, I'm going to have to stop this. And I went and looked over the Gale commandments. You know, from now on, whenever I make a decision like that, I need to look at the Gale commandments first so that I won't risk weakening my Gale shield. And yeah, the Gale commandments say right here, thou shalt not, this is Gale Commandments 2.0, thou shalt not stockpile items. This includes excess paper towels, water jugs, or other supplies that are regularly used but are not needed for immediate use. Thou shalt not keep disposable items, such as paper plates, plastic utensils, Ziploc bags, plastic bags, or other such items. Yeah, I should have known. If I was really paying attention to the Gale commandments, I would have known better. I was just getting so frustrated with smelling that smoke. You say, well, you had to do something about the smoke. Well, what I did is I brought it up to Brent, and I said, go into that guy's apartment and find out why I'm getting so much smoke. It does appear Lizzo is using some special technology, and I think he was smoking more than one cigarette at a time. Yeah, so it was pretty thick concentration. Okay, because he was a Lizzo Jesuit. Yeah, and then I said that's horrible. Yeah, and if he's smoking as a Lizzo Jesuit, that's I'm assuming the brain to brain was accurate, but it seems like today's really good. I'm not smelling it. I shouldn't have to smell Lizzo Jesuit cigarette smoke. Okay, in my living quarters. Okay, I've never been a smoker my entire life. And that's actually a form of lung rape, in my opinion. Lung rape. Just like her putting semen in the pollen is another form. It's like lung rape. She's raping us, forcing her poison into our bodies. We already know she's like that. And yeah, I didn't say this before, but I believe now. We've had 4 Antichrists so far. We've had Zach Knight, Angelina Ballerina, Lori McBride, Lizzo. I do believe Lizzo is the most evil of them all. She's the worst one yet. With Zach Knight, at least there were some parts of his life where he was trying to excel, to be superior in some ways, okay? He was proud of his perfect penis. He tried to do some things with class, okay? So and he had love in his life. He had 13, okay? He was trying to hide it from Satan. So he was probably the most virtuous of the 4, so that's why we were able to reach him pretty quickly. The next, Angelina Ballerina was pretty evil, okay? She's a close second behind Lizzo. However, Lizzo beats her for evil simply because the new group of Jesuits, I do believe, are not allowed to do the Gale commandments. This means they're going to be filthy, dirty. They're not going to be practicing. They're going to have to violate every Gale commandment. See, the Gale commandments, this means, that's why this group of Jesuits is so disgustingly dirty, because the Gale commandments are all about being clean, organized. Let me just go through them. Thou shalt eat a balanced diet, without concerns about allergens or toxins, using the method of calories in, calories out as a guide to weight management. Lizzo does not eat a balanced diet. She eats a fat chick diet. And she's actually a vegan, or whatever they call it. Jesus Christ himself told me a vegetarian diet is not healthy. Yep. We need to eat some meat. Okay? So yeah, she's violating that Gale commandment right there. Thou shalt not toil in activities, even honorable work for the Lord, to the extent that sleep is sacrificed. Set aside at least 8 hours per night for sleep. I think she's a workaholic. I don't think she's getting 8 hours a night. So you got to understand, the new group of Jesuits are not allowed to honor the Gale commandments. My sister is a Lizzo Jesuit, and she has gotten really fat. She probably weighs at least 300 pounds. That's going to happen to you if you're not doing the Gale commandments. Thou shalt honor the Lord's temple by taking time every day to self-groom, bathe, brush teeth, and stay clean. This new group of Jesuits is the most smelly, disgusting, vulgar group of Jesuits because they're violating this Gale commandment. They're required to by Satan. They throw trash all over the roads. They litter. They love to puke and defecate and do all sorts of gross stuff and just destroy property. And yeah, they're the most vulgar. When they board the bus, some of them smell like they haven't taken a bath or a shower in a month. They make the whole bus smell, okay? Thou shalt honor the home of Jesus. Oh yeah, they love to spit and smoke too. Like when you go out, they'll spit all over the sidewalk, and you have to watch where you step. They're deliberately being gross. It's a violation of this Gale commandment. And that's why I say, you might say that's evil. That is evil. That's a sin, okay? When you don't do the Gale commandments and when you're willingly disobeying them, that is a gross sin, okay? Thou shalt honor the home of Jesus' favor by taking time every day to clean, wipe down laundry, vacuum, and dust your apartment. Well, I'm sure last I heard, my sister's house is a mess. She used to be such a good housekeeper. But now that she's a Lizzo Jesuit, yep. So they're not going to vacuum. They're not going to brush teeth. They're not going to do any of this stuff. They're probably going to launder very well. They're not going to wipe down. They're not going to clean. That's pretty evil. That's pretty evil. Yeah. Cleanliness is next to godliness in some ways. You ever heard that? Thou shalt honor, okay. Thou shalt go on walks every day, enjoying the day that the Lord has made. They're a bunch of unthankful ingrates. Enjoying the day that the Lord has made. That means having gratitude attitude, okay? Living in the moment, being thankful. Buddha's been teaching us this. This is actually based on some Buddhism here. Enjoying the day that the Lord has made. In other words, living in the moment, being thankful for your blessings, having the gratitude attitude, going out for walks. So yeah, they're going to gain weight, these Lizzo Jesuits, because they're not doing their walks. And they're going to be a bunch of gripey, unthankful ingrates, as evil as hell, because they're not going to be enjoying things. They're not thankful. Yeah. Thou shalt spend money only on food and bills. Being mindful that spending money on a deal or impulse, oh yeah. Have you been noticing, that's why I don't have a phone. Because Lizzo's using brain control to get us to spend money on things outside of food and bills, to get us obsessed about, Jesus made me rip up all my credit cards. Can you believe that my credit rating has dropped because I have not used any credit for I think at least 15 years? Because Jesus had me rip up all the cards. Zach said, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. No, Jesus does not like loans. He doesn't like credit cards. I don't even think he wants you to take a loan out for your house. Yeah. So how does that work? You know, if you do the Gale commandments to save some money, you might be able to just pay for your house up front. Yeah. Okay. Thou shalt take only one multivitamin and one allergy medication per day. Taking supplements or special foods like the vegan diet. See how she's violating the Gale commandments? In an attempt to improve a health condition or alleviate symptoms is off limits. Thou shalt store away a savings of at least $100 every month. The LIzzo Jesuits are probably all on credit. Yeah. Whoever sows, okay, let's go to number 2. Let there be light. Thou shalt keep the windows unobstructed and the blinds open every day, enjoying the beautiful view the Lord has given. I just keep them open all the time. Thou shalt not keep storage items in the living areas. Any storage items that do not fit in the allotted storage spaces are considered excess hoard in the sins of gluttony and sloth. Yeah, the LIzzo Jesuits are definitely guilty of the sin of gluttony and sloth and must be thrown away. Storage spaces include closets, dressers, and cabinets. Items such as racks, boxes, plastic bins, or baskets are not storage spaces and must be placed inside a closet or cabinet. I bet if you visited the average LIzzo Jesuit's home, you'd be tripping over everything. Thou shalt not add storage furnishings to the home, such as shelves, storage racks, or other items used to store or accumulate. Okay, so thou shalt not use air purifiers, humidifiers, or other air filtering devices in the home. Doing so exercises unfaithfulness in the Lord to protect one from airborne irritants or illness. Thou shalt keep the floor space free of loose items, including boxes, containers, laundry baskets, and plastic bins. The home must be as open, light, and free as is the heart of the Lord. Thou shalt not accumulate duplicate items. In other words, don't be a hoarder, don't be a stockpiler, don't keep disposable stuff, and set aside one purpose for each area of the home. Be organized. The kitchen is for the kitchen, preparation, storage of food. And Jesus said these rules depend on the size of your house, okay? If you are a homeless person, then everything you need should be able to fit inside a shopping cart. If you are a richer person, it depends on this. Like I have a studio apartment, so I had to pare down. But anyways, the point is, she's trying to break all of these commandments. She has to. Because Satan, you say, why does Satan care about breaking? This is the new game. This is the new set of righteousness. Doing this stuff. It's healthy, it's good for you, and it helps you to be balanced. And it helps you to avoid obsessions. Yeah, so one thing, sometimes when I have a difficult decision to make, like what to do about cigarette smoke and stuff, I will go to read the Gale commandments. If I had done that, I would have known better than to stuff the bags around the door. And another thing you need to do is, now if this continues, let's say today's a good day, but let's say I have a cigarette smoke problem, I'll have to just report it to management and say, hey, I got to live here, but I want to smell smoke all the time. Can you do something about this? I personally think that for where I live, the best solution would be a no smoking policy for the entire complex. If they're worried about losing tenants, I don't think their rent is cheap here. I don't think they have to worry about that. Yeah. Besides, we can give them incentives. My cooking could be one of them. My cooking is very good and healthy. I was raised on Japanese food, so I wanted to bring that up. Everybody should be doing the Gale commandments. I think I'm not sure what the rewards will be, but I have faith in Jesus. He wouldn't give us commandments to do if they weren't good for us and if they weren't good for the universe, okay? And I think he will reward us when we do them. Yeah. And we'll find out. All right. So, yeah, I wanted to bring that up. This is dealing with LIzzo. And then when I go for my walks, they harass me to death. I've had several instances where they deliberately try to hit me with a car, and I've had to have Brent deal with them. And today was a better day than usual, but that they are very evil. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them we're having to take them out because they're deadly. We already know what they're like. I mean, you saw what she was trying to do with the bombs, where she was going to bomb the whole planet. So, anyways, yeah, they're deadly. They're killers. And she uses she's a very creative murderer. She believes in the fast method, the slow method. She uses mites, allergens. These mites, I've noticed I'm getting some wear on my teeth, and I'm very good with dental hygiene. And these mites, I do believe, eat bone. And I don't need that. This is what we're dealing with. And I'm telling myself, just don't worry about it. Just do your best and tell your men, and that's all you can do. I mean, what can you do when you've got an enemy like this? One thing that really helped me to make a problem that I've had is with time management, because I actually have a lot to do. And right between writing the Gale series, making these YouTube videos, doing the Gale commandments, one thing that helped me to work this out is reading the Gale commandments for 8 hours rest. I thought, okay, Jesus wants me to do the Gale series. He wants me to do the Gale commandments. He wants me to make a balanced meal. I mean, I can't eat out at restaurants all the time. I don't like to anyways. I prefer to eat my own home-cooked food. But it takes time to cook. So I found that the way I can make sure I get my 8 hours of sleep is devote like one day to writing, another day to cooking. Okay? Because if I try to do both in one day, then I end up going to bed too late. Because once I get going on my writing project, I don't like being interrupted, and I usually have a goal that I want to accomplish. And yeah, so the Gale commandments helped me to figure that out. I thought, okay. And it makes it more enjoyable too. Like Buddha said, it's important to enjoy your work. And when I'm feeling like I'm rushed because I got to make sure I get to bed in time because I'm trying to do too much in one day, then it makes it less enjoyable for me. So reading the Gale commandments, the one about 8 hours sleep, helped me to make the decision. Like I told myself, Gail, you don't have to write every day. Okay? This thing is going to get written. Just one day for writing, one day for cooking. I do a little bit of cooking every day because I love my own homemade food. I make fruit salad every day. That's sort of like cooking. It takes time. And yeah, so that the Gale commandments helped me figure that out. It says there's this Jesus would approve because you're honoring the 8 hour sleep one. He didn't say you had to write every day. He just said set deadlines. He wants me to set deadlines for the stories, but it doesn't mean I have to write it every day. So yeah, that's how I work that out. So the Gale commandments can help you to figure out solutions to problems. Like I had a time management problem. I just didn't know. I was telling myself, you don't have time to do all this, but yet I actually do have time. Now that I quit obsessing about fake news and I no longer feel obligated to like post stuff from other sources, I'm saving time there. And I am backing up my entire YouTube channel at BitChute on a page at my website, which is going to have links to every YouTube video that I've ever made, okay? Including some that have been taken down. And this is just to keep not just to have a backup of my YouTube channel, but to have easy access to past videos. You know how hard it is on the average channel, this includes Rumble, BitChute, to find older videos? It's very difficult. So it's kind of like good to have a page with links with the titles of the videos from, like 20, I started my YouTube channel 2011, from 2011 up till now, and I've got a whole page like that. And right now I've got everything backed up from 2011, I'm in 2012, and I have everything from 2018 forward is backed up, because I started the BitChute backup in 2018. So 2018 forward is backed up, and 2011 is backed up, And I'm right now working on 2012. So I've got 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 that I need to do. I have the videos on external hard drives, and I think I'm going to be able to get my entire YouTube channel backed up within about a year. Yeah. So the thing is, though, is that the descriptions underneath the big videos at YouTube, some of the links don't work anymore because my website has changed. So that's why I'm doing it the slow method. But this is also helping me with writing research, because many of the stories that I have to write, I'm going to have to be looking at some of the older YouTube videos. And I want to be able to have easy access to them. So by setting this page up, I'm making it easier for me to just find, oh yeah, that's the one I need. But hit the link, boom, I'm right there. Whereas if I had to go back on my YouTube channel, I'd have to scroll through pages and pages possibly to find it, you know. But and the other advantage is that that just in case I get taken down off of YouTube, I'm going to have a BitChute backup. So yeah. So far I've been very fortunate in that regard. Yeah, but you know, Lizzo is very, she's, of all the Antichrist that we've had, this one seems to be the most, has the most control over the internet and the news. If she has got so much control that she's got all of everybody. I mean, like I said, every single buddy out there. Like even people in my cabinet that like Dan Bongino, from what I understand, I think his clone has taken over all of his online sites. So she's got everybody. Vladimir Putin doesn't even have control over his Russian president website anymore. He's basically given up on that. And yeah, now most of the mainstream news broadcasters just, for one reason or another, are not willing to get the crazy label put on them like I am, and like the reporters at Gabriel Chana Fox News. And I guess they're just not willing to pay the price to side with the truth. Sad to say. Yeah. So you basically, so I'm just going to go ahead and end this video and say don't watch any other source of news except 00 on cable and at my website. Everybody else is lying to you. And you're in danger of becoming dangerously obsessed. Don't even, if you can, see, I can't use the Gabriel Chana search engine at my website, but if you can, you should be using that. Don't even waste your time. I'm so glad that I learned how to do website. I started my website in 2010, and I'm pretty tech savvy now. I'm pretty good with the computer, and you know, I'm kind of like I am very busy. I'm kind of like a combination webmaster, cook, writer, and you know, plus I do all the weekly YouTube videos. I'm a news reporter. I am my husband who's the president. I'm his press secretary along with Melanie Richards. So yeah, I've got a full plate, and I basically consider myself to have almost like a full-time missionary job for Jesus. I know exactly, and I'm getting better at managing my time. It really helps when I don't waste my time with foolish obsessions, okay? Like I had a really bad habit to want to check the news, like what happened, and I thought, you know what, Gail, just stop it. If anything important happened that you need to know about, your men will let you know, okay? Your men will let you know. Yeah. So that's my new policy, and I think it should be everybody's policy. So I just wanted to make my weekly YouTube video and just report on, you know, the latest events. Watch out for the pollen out there if you want to know how to handle it. Yeah. Watch Gabriel Chana Fox News. They might give you some ideas. If you live in Alabama, go to gabrielchana.blog. Yeah. They're all lying to you. They don't have your best interest at heart. Like I told you. We're kind of like the tribulation saints in the book of Revelation and the canceled Bible. Truth has gone underground, If you want to get the truth, you're not going to get it from any Antichrist controlled sources. Yeah. Lizzo is the bona fide Antichrist. Okay, I think she's the final one, which means and that's why she's the most evil of them all. And yeah, and like the Antichrist is depicted in the book of Revelation, the canceled Bible, she's controlling all of the press. Yeah. Yeah, and the tribulation saints, they went through, you know. Anybody who knows the Bible, you know, the book of Revelation's not a picnic. Yeah. So that's what we're in. And most people are not willing to pay the price. And I'm betrayed by my own sister, which is what they predicted would happen in the last days. Okay, in the canceled Bible, we've got a very similar scenario here. The good news is I do believe that there will be special rewards for those who do the Gale commandments. Yeah. I have faith in Jesus, okay? I have faith in him. He's going to make it work out right.